I want to talk to you about the importance of foot health when it comes to our daily life, our pelvic health, and our workouts. So, our feet are kind of the communicator between the world and us. So, especially when we're barefoot, we feel the ground, so I'm feeling the soft carpet. If I'm in the kitchen, I'm feeling the tiles. And if I'm outside, I can feel the roughness of the driveway, or if I stand on a stone, my feet go, ooh, ooh, and they move and trigger reactions within our body. And if our feet aren't mobile, a lot of us wear shoes, and I'm very much not a Kiwi kid, and I live in shoes. I'm trying to get into more barefoot shoes, but our toes can get squashed, our feet can get restricted, and they don't move as they should. And then that causes a chain reaction of the body, which means that maybe our ankle isn't mobilizing or our knee isn't working well, and we might be hitching our hips funny, we might be walking differently to how we would otherwise if we were living our life barefoot and fancy free. And it can affect our pelvic floor. Our pelvic floor is kind of the center of our body. It's the junction point between our legs and our torso. And a lot of messages from down there travel up here to our brain. And if we're not standing optimally, because our feet are not optimally aligned, then that can cause back pain. It can cause other issues. So one thing I like to do, I like to use a spiky ball. Any ball will do. I prefer a spiky ball just because this one in particular, I've gone through a few, and this one, it's all quite flexible. I don't like the hard ones. It's too intense. But I like to stand back far enough. I like to massage my feet, because we've got lots of little muscles, just like our hands, little muscles, little bones, all in here. And if one gets stuck, we might not be able to walk properly, and it can affect our lives, as I mentioned. So just rolling back and forth, left and right, pivoting. Any points that feel particularly sore. So if you're on your feet all day, you can do this at the end of the day. You could do this at the start of the day if you wanted, either end. Find any bits that sore, just pause, breathe, and see if you can just allow your foot to soften and relax over that ball. And it just wakes everything up, and it can help relieve some of that fatigue as well that you get from standing on your feet. I remember my life in retail. If you do get sore, this is a lifesaver. And really get underneath the toes, so extend your toes up. You can step forward, backwards, and making sure that your toes can go up will again mean that you can walk better. If we're not flexing our feet, we can compensate to get our foot off the floor. So just by doing that, getting that action better, more mobile, more range, then we're walking better, more optimally, less likely to hitch parts of the body and compensate somewhere else. Okay? And this is often why a physio or maybe even a trainer will ask you what your shoes are like if you've got knee, hip, or back problems. So check your feet. Check your feet. Next, when I teach my pelvic floor exercises, and when we go through our classes, our one-on-one or our group rehab or group aerobic kick classes, trying to think of the words, demonstration, I say ground your feet. And that means spread your toes, engage your feet, so press your feet into the ground, And then if you can, try and shorten your foot. So you're not scrunching your toes, you're really pressing your feet into the ground and you're increasing the arch in your foot. And that activates your feet. It activates muscles up the legs, and it kind of tells the body that you're preparing for movement. And that tells the pelvic floor to prepare for movement. So the pelvic floor reacts when we bounce. It likes to try and press up to support ourselves and to support our insides. And by grounding our feet and training in conjunction with the legs, it's preparing them, it's telling them, right, ready. And when we do our pelvic floor exercises, or when we focus on our breathing during the lift, it is more powerful. You could probably feel, I personally could feel the engagement of the muscles a lot more when I've got my legs switched on than if I'm just standing here, floppy legs, trying to do it then. Okay. So when I say grounded feet, that's what I mean. When I say super glue your feet to the floor, that's what I mean. I mean, switch it on, switch the muscles on, prepare yourself. And especially with a lift. In real life, if you're lifting, so I've got my kettlebell here. If you're lifting a person, a thing, and you're picking something up, feet are on, ground the feet, press them into the floor. Do this in practice. And the more you do it in practice, the more it becomes second nature. So you don't necessarily have to think about it so much in day-to-day life, but you make sure you practiced it, so you just do it naturally. So you ground your feet, your legs are switched on. These are big muscles. Let's use these over just the lower back. Okay, so we're bending down, and then we're picking the thing up. And by using our legs, by engaging all those muscles, we are doing that rather than that, and it's much nicer, makes the lift more easy and takes the pressure off the pelvic floor, helps you to breathe through the lift because you're using more muscle to recruit, and you're not putting any downward pressure through that pelvic floor muscle and into your back and causing any injuries. So that's my guide to grounding your feet, why your feet are so important. If you want to purchase a ball, I sell those yellow balls from my shop. So let me know, send me a message, comment in the group, comment on this video, wherever it is you see it, send me an email, whatever. And yeah, I can help you to source one of those because I think that's my favorite. If you want to look into barefoot shoes and things like that, I could probably refer you to a few that I am learning about. So yeah, that is how to ground feet.